This is not going to be your general satsang. We embody something called the procedural collapse. They call me mad because the society found me mad, but I was never speaking to that society. The path of the Khyapas, and why you will hear this everywhere now very soon. It has one major rule: reject all paths of spirituality which rejects you as a human being. I have never described this in any of my videos, but where is the center of the universe? Here. It is time for us to allow ourselves to walk in the path of spirituality, but you, she has come to you, that I know. You have her with you all the time. Why do you want to always burn? And I had a vision, an exceptional vision. I felt that somebody was going to tear off my skin. Bhairava Kali ke namo. Om namo Bhairavaya namo nama. Om namo Bhairavaya swaha. Jai Maa Adya. Jai Shri Bama Khyapa. Jai Shri Maa Khyapa. Jai Khyapa ParamPara. Jai Maa. Jai Maa. So good morning, and my usual line is we're back on yet another video, but not used to that, and I'm pretty worried now because that was an extraordinary dance, and then there was an extraordinary song, and I do apologize. I'm not a stage kind of a guy, nor am I studio material. So I've had 15 to 16 podcast invitations, and I did make an attempt. I fought with Maa and said that the first time I speak about my guru, it should be on a huge studio where he will get the required mileage, and he should be given that because you all know who my guru is. I've not yet taken his name here, but I said that he should have that extraordinary beginning when he bursts onto the stage and all that. That was my childish plan, and I fought with Maa, and I reached all the way to Mumbai. And you also might have guessed by now who the studio was. Is it audible? It's audible, right? Back, because you're all come here on a Saturday, stood in Bengaluru traffic and all that. And ultimately, if you're not able to hear me, that should not delay my progress by burning this karma also. So you can hear me, right? All fine, man. So I don't know if I can give you a lot of inputs and a lot of benefits for coming today, any magical mantras and all that. But in case if you leave here sad, I promise that I'll pray to Maa and say that since they have spent 2 hours here, please give them 1 or 2 leeways in their karmic hits, so that in that way they don't at least curse me. Right? I cannot guarantee anything special today because Bhairava is never special. What is his Vahana? It's a dog, right? What you see on the streets. Very simple. Okay, I'll first introduce my Guru ParamPara, Shri Guru Bama Khyapa, and why the path of the Khyapas is now very soon going to gain exceptional mileage, and why you will hear this everywhere now very soon. Because whether you accept it or not, many of you actually belong to that path. It is just that you are not yet realized it. So speaking about the ParamPara, Bama Khyapa, the nature of an avatar, what is the most popular name that you would think of? If I say Kali Sadhaka, what is the most popular name out of Bengal? I can't hear you, but I assume that you said Shri Ramakrishna, Paramahamsa. There was another contemporary at that time, very silent, majorly spent most of his time in a smashan, did not care for audience, did not care to appear easy to approach, did not care about what the society thought about him. I've spoken about this at length. Shri Bama Khyapa was an avatar of Bhairava. I'm very afraid to use of the name avatar, because what happens is that we say, okay, Bama Khyapa was an avatar, so he can do all that. I am not an avatar, so I can't do that. So I'm very afraid of the term avatar, but okay, the drone has come down, so I can go back to normal now. The shots are clicked, and we'll have good YouTube content, right? So Bama Khyapa as an avatar, though I use the term avatar, his purpose was different. Now that we have all calmed down and we have a little distant from the well-known sadhakas like Shri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, we have all calmed down a little. There is one avatar who was placed into absolute silence. Very few limited sections of the society in Bengal know his name. Very few limited sections of Devi sadhakas know his name in other parts of the country. However, an avatar's nature is that as time passes, an avatar becomes more and more relevant. And today, Shri Bama Khyapa becomes exceptionally relevant because now that you're all seated here, you all went through the engineering degrees, you didn't study Vedas. You all went through all this YouTube, you went through Instagram, you went through life itself because you were all monks in a previous life who all pretended and sat under a tree saying, no, as per the design, I don't have these desires and all that. I'm sitting here. No, I don't need that house. No, I don't need that job. I don't need this. So you've come back, satisfied all those check boxes, and now you're ready for your spiritual path. That is why you all sit here, whereas there are malls outside, there are other places holding other functions, there are other people sitting there, but you have this Trishna within you, the urge. What is that urge? What are you? Why are you here? Because the entry was free. So, and I had 2 hours. So I thought, worst case, I'll waste 2 hours. What is there to lose? No. Why did you come here? What was that? Give me that word. Don't be silent. Bhairava calling on your phone. Yeah, that's how he came. Sorry? For me. But I came for her. She's still there, right? Yeah. I'm addicted to this specific because if she's not standing behind, I'll be quite nervous here. I'm happy that Ma has given me the strength. So Bama Khyapa, he is the most relevant Devi Sadhaka now because you all are sitting over here breaking down the procedures of how one must approach Devi. That is what is happening. None of you went to ashramas, have studied in an ashrama. Is there anybody who generally attends satsang? That crowd, anybody who could raise your hand? I usually attend satsang. 2, 3, 4. Right? So I think we should apologize to them. This is not going to be a general satsang. We embody something called the procedural collapse. Because today we have monks among us who are not yet aware of the fact that they are monks. They are dressed in jeans, t-shirts, skirts, modern dresses with degrees and all that. And now it is time to remind them of what they were. There was one great monk who roamed all over India, looked everywhere. Can you guess who it is? Yes. He looked around everywhere and he saw only one thing. What was that? Hunger. And in that hunger, that man, the hungry man, he saw only Devi as food. So he told that you cannot teach Devi to a hungry man. For him, Devi is just food. And he silenced himself. But today, what is the problem that you all face? When you're hungry, you pick up your phone, the right coupon isn't there on Swiggy, right? That is your anger towards hunger. So the major problem is solved. Am I right? The major problem is solved. The issue is now with the coupons. The issue is that your favorite restaurant opens at 11 a.m., right? But you wanted to have it at 10 a.m. That is your problem. So now it is time for us to allow ourselves to walk in the path of spirituality, but not get lost in the identity crisis of thinking that, but I'm 21, 22, I'm an engineer, I'm a banker. What do I do now? Now they say that I need to go back and begin from beginning, that I'm not eligible, I'm not there yet. How do I correct this problem? Shri Bama Khyapa gave this lesson about 180 or 200 years, roughly 200 years back, to the Brahmin priests of Tarapith. Devi ensured that he was born there to give one specific phat. I've never said that on the mic, so I'm not sure if the effect came out well. But he gave one specific phat moment to the priests of Tarapith. What did he say? You have all your rituals, you have all your ways and vidhis and everything, and you worship Devi by that, she's fine. But I, who is an embodiment of Devi itself, I, who is the embodiment of Shiva itself, within me there is an urge to now fight with my idol, or not to offer the flowers at her foot, but to throw it at her. I'm angry. Is my anger not Devi? Is my anger towards you not Devi? Is my urge to not offer or cook food for you today, is that not Devi? He made everybody think at that point that my anger and my irritation towards the idol is also Devi. The way I talk to you, it's just not as per the niyamas. This is the grid of how you worship Devi, and he broke it completely. And what is the best part? Devi said that I like it. That is what I want. So somebody gave a phat moment to entire priests of Tarapith 200 years back, and that very silently stayed aside, so that today Shri Bama Khyapa rises again, and he can give you this message that which you think is as per grid, as you sit here as an engineer, as an IT professional, as a banker, Do not look back to the rituals because she did it at that time. What did he say? They called me mad because the society found me mad, but I was never speaking to that society. Bama Khyapa is talking to us today. Does it make sense? I think many of you are not accepting, so probably I'll have to walk out. It makes sense now. You cannot go back and try to live like you are in Satyug. What you feel like offering to Devi, she wants it to be offered that way. Shri Krishna, I'm not going to go deep into Shri Krishna. I have this phone here, not because I cannot remember things, but because I should come back to the topic. I have this habit of touching Kali and then it's gone. The video is gone. Which is why most people scold me on Reddit. That guy rambles a lot. He starts talking about Kali and then he talks about Krishna and he goes to Kali. He talks about Bhairava, goes to Kali. That is my way. Because everything is Kali. Right? So what was I saying? Sorry? Krishna. Krishna. Right. Right. So Krishna, who is Kali, 36th name. Right? I look at this so that I don't go back to Krishna. Krishna's separate satsangs will have on Krishna. However, today we have to introduce Bhairava. And right, like I was telling people in the backstage, if you do not introduce Bhairava right, Devi will repeat this session 10 more times. So very dangerously, she has this nature that you introduce Bhairava right because I introduce Bhairava. It is Devi who introduced Bhairava. We'll see that as the session proceeds. However, it was Sri Krishna. We go that in depth in the different session. However, it was Sri Krishna who said that it is only Nama Japa that will give you moksha and keep you aligned to the deity in the Kaliyuga. Why? All rituals will collapse. All the places of worship will get infiltrated by organized methods of handling the space. It is by election, by election of officials that a temple is run now. Temples are no longer free. He said that 5,000 years back. He already knew that, right? It is us that are just realizing that Krishna gave us all the path. That in the Kali Yuga, you will not be able to go and sit in a temple and feel the same bhakti that somebody in the Treta Yuga felt. He already knew that. And why is the Nama Japa so beautiful? A Nama Japa is beautiful because it doesn't have any rules. It allows you to be like Bama Khyapa. Bama Khyapa would slip into samadhi merely by the utterance of the name Tara. So he at that moment gave the path also. He was nothing extraordinary. He did not have big names at that, big politicians, big bureaucrats. Nobody came to him. He was simple. Nama Japa. He would do the Nama Japa of Ma Tara. He couldn't remember the Vedas. He couldn't remember the Shastras and all that. But he would be plucking the flowers of Devi. The second he uttered the name Tara, slipped off into samadhi. So this path is pretty simple. It has one major rule. You will not try to fit yourself into a path. One must categorically, systematically reject all paths of spirituality which rejects you as a human being. Do you understand what I just said? I wish, I'm not used to this distance. Usually in the last 3 satsangs, we were right close to each other so I could interact with people. And I prefer it that way. But what does this even mean? Duryodhana went to heaven. He is the villain of Mahabharata. If you look at Sri Krishna as an avatar of Mahavishnu, he was the villain. But he still got moksha. How? How did he get that? It is because he was true to what he was. As a human being, he never pretended. Even Duryodhana got moksha. So, in the righteous path to Devi, reject all paths of spirituality which will reject you as a human being. Otherwise, you'll have to come back again. Fir se aana hoga. Because there are certain aspects that you're pretending to yourself and telling me that I don't have these thoughts, I don't have this. This path says that I should not think of these things. Because of that, I will not think of those things. But the state of shunyata is not achieved. Maa Kali, again, at the risk of going to her, Shunya Nivasini. What is Shunya? State of zero. She is also Smashana Vasini. What happens to you in the Smashan? You are zero, right? Do you get up and suddenly start running? You don't have time anymore, you're done. So Shunya Nivasini, she who lives at the state or presents herself at the state of Shunya only. So when you pretend that you have 10 different desires and you pretend that you have done with that because the path you decided to align yourself to says that you cannot have those feelings, what happens? For her, she has a lot of time. Every breath she takes, she is destroying galaxies, and every exhale, she is creating galaxies. For her, she has a lot of time. But you want to come back after 100 years and be in Bangalore. Imagine Bangalore after 100 years. It took me 2 hours to reach the hotel from the airport. Right? After 100 years, things will be very difficult. There will be no jobs. Right now in banking, we talk to each other and we don't get people because nobody wants to work in a bank. Right? Everything has become systemized. There is no interaction. We have everything, but we're not happy. So the faster you realize that you have a path and you are the path, and every one of you will have a different path, the faster you will progress. This is the path of Bama Khyapa, and this is why it becomes more relevant now. It is time for you to understand that you don't try to fit yourself into a grid in order to be accepted. She has given you the body and placed the Atma in that body, and the body has a specific set of desires, specific set of ambitions. Why? Why does it have that? Because the body is rented. There was an ancestor somewhere a few generations back who looked at a Britisher walking around. I wish I could wear a pant. I wish I could walk like him. I wish I could talk in English. I wish I could work in a government office. I wish I could have my third car. These desires are within you even now. And you must absolutely attain the state of Shunyata with these desires. Until then, you are bound to repeat in the same bloodline. How many of you would like to be born as your own grandkids in the same bloodline? No. She is very clear. Anybody who says that I want to be born as my own grandson in the same bloodline, so you have cleaned your bloodline. Only 5 or 10 people. Everybody should reach a state where you say that I am absolutely fine if I am born as my own grandson, because I will be cleaning and the blood is pretty awesome now. This blood is so good now that I want to be born here. This is your job over here. You need to clean your bloodline to such an extent and give moksha to your pitrus to such an extent that you should be happy if you are given the opportunity to be born here again. I asked my own mother. She is very happy with her grandson. I told her, what if you're born as his son? Oh no. She said that. So that means she's rejecting her own bloodline. So till you reject your own bloodline, you are bound to serve it. This is a simple niyama. Your body is rented. You don't own it. The Atma is placed into that body and you're meant to give moksha to that bloodline, and then you get the higher states of realization, higher bloodlines, and then finally higher realms. So will this happen if you continuously place yourself into a grid which is rejecting you as a person? How likely is it that you'll go higher? How likely? I can't hear you actually. Less likely. Because she will continuously place you into, because for it is nothing. 125 years is like probably not even, how do I even describe? I don't have wordings to take it that low. For her, 125 years is nothing. She's expanding the universe at 74 kilometers per second. So what is 125 years? Nothing, right? So the faster you realize that it is your job here in this rented body to give it moksha and then rise higher, which means now you have a very clean path in front of you. You just look at these 10 things. These are my desires. And these are my ambitions. This is my ultimate path that I want to go to higher states of realization. There is no magic mantra or ritual that is going to get this done for you. That is why there was something called a Kurukshetra war. You get down and clean the bloodline. Every bit of desire is a clue about your next birth. You will be birthed into, it will not be the exact bloodline, but a perfect bloodline which will help you to progress in that desire. You have that desire for a huge company. You might be born as an exceptional businessman's son, but life will be very difficult in 2325, right? I don't think all of us are prepared yet to be there. So from here I would move to why we speak about Adya Kali and why this path is the fastest path. Everybody says this, but in my life I've seen this. Why the path to Kali is the fastest path of realization of the self. What did Adya Kali do? She purposely ensured that she gives a peak in Bengal, right? And she purposely went away. Bengal, which is called the Kshetra of Adya Kali, she came there and then she said, I'm going back. Why? Why do you think that was? Was Bengal not ready for her? There is something called the procedural collapse. Even if Bengal at the highest states of Kali worship, she said that you are all as per the grid. Break it, because somebody somewhere is pretending so that he can fit into the grid of Kali worship. She said, I wish to be worshipped in each house as per what they can offer me best. So in my house, if I wake up in the morning and I look at her, in another house, a lady has to send her kids to school and then only she gets the time to worship her. So one path says, no, first you should worship Kali, then only you can send your kids to school. But the lady can't do it. But the lady and the kid and her delay due to the kids is also Kali. Am I right? The kids are not a curse. Kids are given by her. The delay caused by the kids is also given by her. Now if you say that only as per Dakshin Kali path, first thing you have to do is only this, or is just an example, or Bhadra Kali path, the first thing you have to do is this, then how will she worship Kali? There is a problem there. This is the purpose of Adya Kali. What makes sense to you? As long as your life revolves around me, you get to worship me at your house. Not one big temple where she resides, but you sit in your asana and you worship me in your house, and your asana, I will make it as powerful as the most biggest temple ever. But who's the chief priest? Sorry? What? Ourselves, yes. So chief priest is you. And now tell me, does this path make sense with what Shri Bama Khyapa did in Tarapith? He told the priests of Tarapith that your mantras, rituals is all fine, but I am going to throw my bodily fluid at Devi and say, take your Gangajal. Imagine that. And this, if somebody does that now, is different. But imagine doing 200 years back. Who would have the guts to do that? But an avatara. But if you think of him as just an avatara, you lose the message. The message connects directly to the form that is Adya Kali, which is nothing but, if you have all read, how many of you have read the Stava? All recite Stava, right? And what does it say? She is the Prakriti. Para Prakriti. She is Durga, Shodashi, Bhuneshwari, Dhumavati, Bhagala, Bhairava, Chinna Mastaka. I am all. I am Ganesha. She says, I am all. So, you worship her in your house, in your asan, you are worshipping the highest cosmic divine mother itself. And what is the catch here? There is a catch. You must not think. Did Bama Khyapa think, I am going to do this here today? All of these men and women have gathered here. I am going to throw at her something which none of them will like. What if they don't like it? I should first apply for a permission from the temple committee. Then I should take a consent whether all of you are okay with what I'm going to do. Did you think of this? That is why he's called a Bhairava avatar. Right? So that brings us to our topic. What is our topic? I forgot. Introduction to Bhairava Sadhana. It is a rule that you talk about Kali, you must first establish Bhairava. Because he is the Mahashunya, the absolute state of zero. He has everything. The world's richest bhikshak. Bhikshak. He begs, but he is the richest. He still begs. I am the richest in the world. I don't have anything, but he walks with the skull. I have nothing, but everything is him. So what is Bhairava? Anybody would like to volunteer? Who is Bhairava? Come on, this is Bhairava. You have to. Guru. Pedestal for Maa Kali. Okay. Shiva in the Smashana. He is everything for Kali. Kshetrapala. Nice. Who's that? Beautiful. Yes. Next. Sorry? Very nice. Procedural collapse. Fearlessness. Sorry? What is it? Himself. Okay. I think you are going to start a sixth path. There is something deeper there. Probably 100 years later, somebody will come back and teach that. He is himself. That is him actually. Yes. Child of? Child of Shiva. Okay. Okay. What else? Knowledge compartment. So he has only knowledge. He's the syllabus of CBSE. uh-huh. Brahma's guru. Beautiful. Yes. A disappointed teacher in a college. Sorry? Biggest Kali Upasaka is very true actually. Yes. You cannot match him. Sorry? The kindest form of Shiva. Bholenath. Right? Guru of the fifth head. Rudra Shiva. Ultimate judge. Sorry? The dharmic path itself. Right? Vairagya. So I'll just have some. So Bhairava will break down the word. So I don't want to be something that you can Google, right? So generally, yes. Sorry? Who is not feared? I do fear him a little. No, yours is nice, good answer, not to worry. That's it. I'll go on. So Bhairava, let's break down the word a little bit. I don't want to go as per the Google definitions. Generally today's podcast and all that, it simply takes 5 texts. This is what I have read. You have not yet read it. I've come here to make it easier. This is the 5 things I've read. I generally don't subscribe to that, but right now we'll have to go a little in that path. Bhairava, if you break down the word itself, Bha, which is Bharana, that which is filled. What is filled? So each of you look at the person next to you. There is a person next to you. There is a chair next to you. The person is sitting on that chair. That person sitting there has a life, right? They could be married. It could be a lady who is not, who feels that her husband is not the right person for her. It could be a lady who feels that the husband is perfect. It could be a couple who are thinking about having a kid. A couple who are thinking that a kid is like the worst thing you can do. Right? There is somebody right next to you. There is a cab that you will book to go home from here. There is a cab driver who will come. He will have an idea about marriage. He will have an idea about how to save money. He will have a goal, an ambition, a dream, everything. When you step out of this place and just look around, you'll have 10 people who have 10 different goals, ambitions. You have me sitting here. You have somebody who made this board, somebody who came yesterday and checked whether this is working. All of this, are you able to imagine and go into all of their minds at one state? It is very difficult, right? So that which is filled is Bharana, consciousness. Around you, you have the limited ability to understand there are 10 people. I know 10 people. I can give you the description of these 10 people's life. However, beyond those 10 people, there are thousands and crores, right? So that which is filled, you know the world is filled. There is Donald Trump somewhere writing a tweet right now. Nobody can disturb him. He's just, I'm going to destroy. This tweet should cause issues there, man. So, right? There is Elon Musk thinking there is $300 billion. Oh, it's so boring, I should buy someone, right? That state, he's also there, right? All of that put together is what is filled around you. You cannot even imagine how much that is. That which is filled is Bharana, Bha. And Rava, what is Rava? Sound. Anything else? No sound. Rava is that roar. So what is Bhairava? That which is filled begins to roar. So imagine you're all sitting here very happily looking at this man in white and white. Suddenly, he says that I am the greatest. There is nobody to match me. There is nothing. Podcast and all is nothing. I am the best. I am the greatest. Nobody can match me. I have attained the highest states of Kali Sadhana. I know what is Kali. More than Bhairava. I say this and imagine suddenly everything around you begins to take the face of Bhairava and begins to roar. And you realize that every state of realization, like a chain reaction, all the way till Donald Trump, all the way till your neighbor, your dog, your dogs, fathers, everything begins to roar. Imagine Brahma's state then. And Bhairava, we tend to imagine that Shiva's third eye just burst open and a deity came out. No. Everything around Brahma begins to collapse and roar. Now you should have a moment of empathy towards Brahma itself, because he is us. So Bhairava's roar is the roar of consciousness around. that a reminder to Brahma itself that you have forgotten me. Reminder to Brahma, reminder to Vishnu, reminder that Mahesh is not one specific deity like you, the Trimurti. Mahesh is not just an end point, he is a higher state of realization. So consciousness begins to roar, right? So that is Bhairava. And that is when Brahma loses the fifth head. We'll go into the fifth head later. But this is Bhairava. That is how extreme he was to Brahma. And he takes off the fifth head. So what is Bhairava? It is the roaring awakening of consciousness, telling Brahma that with the fifth head you seek to make more of yourself. However, there are higher states of realization. This state is there in all of your life. That is why all of you are here. There is some other quest within you. There is some other truth that you wish to seek. So I believe that in most of your lives, I think the fifth head has fallen. And you have come to realize that is there something bigger than this, or is this the whole quest? Is Brahma the path, or is there an actual state of consciousness, an actual truth, which is so vast that I'm not able to grasp it? That Krishna is what Bhairava is giving you, that awakening. Come. And he does that in every kalpa. There is a coffee way galaxy somewhere where he has done this already and Brahma has lost his fifth head. Brahma is like, he already knows the script now. In the other cosmos, that now other cosmos he might be a little more calmer, because he knows at that state 525th year, somewhere out of like nowhere, a podcast will burst and everybody will hear this name out of nowhere, and it makes no sense. It is not the traditional path. It did not come out of a katha vachan. It did not come out of people seeking a deity in a temple. It came out of a podcast. Procedural collapse. Because he's coming there to tell you, this is the grid that you all believe this is the only way, because Brahma is my kid. I'm going to tell him that beyond this grid, I can put you on the other side and still make you achieve more than this grid. So it is that awakening of consciousness roaring. Putting Brahma in his place, not as somebody who's a naughty student, no. Teaching him, he becomes the guru of Brahma. Some of you answered that he was a Kshetrapala, right? What is a Kshetrapala? Guardian of? Guardian of Shakti. Okay. Guardian of truth. So Kshetra, what is a Kshetra? Region. Bhairava is a Kshetrapala in the four heads of Brahma. However, this Kshetra is not correctly understood. There is a deeper meaning in this. The Kshetra is the state of consciousness itself. Bhairava is not the Kshetrapala of that temple near your house. Sorry? Did you tell? Right. Bhairava is the Kshetrapala of consciousness around you. That which we just described. We described something that is beyond our understanding. He is a Kshetrapala of that. That is his main purpose. So he sits in front of temple, because temples were supposed to give you the higher states of consciousness. And when it is no longer doing that, when it begins to celebrate Brahma's design, in this family, that the father is very powerful, so make his son the head of the temple. Here Brahma's design. So that temple loses Bhairava. He'll get up and walk out. So how does Kshetra, why is Kshetra important for us? Anybody who's invoking Bhairava as your core deity, as an adhara, what does it mean? That many of you said the pedestal for Kali, right? What does that even mean? It means that you, one of the drops in that consciousness is invoking Bhairava now to be the Kshetrapala of your Nama Japa and the path of spirituality. Bhairava, you come to me now. I don't find anything there in that specific organization, in this specific foundation, in these groups that were meant to take me closer to myself. It says that I should dress up in this way. Sorry, I won't specific dress and all that. But I have never asked any of you to come in a specific uniform, right? Did I ask any of you to wear a thing? There are no rules. It is good to wear it. But even if you're not wearing it, I will protect you, because your intention of wearing is also a state in the consciousness. The intention to not wear is also a state in this consciousness. There is nothing that you feel or do that is beyond the grasp of Bhairava itself, because he is the Kshetrapala of the consciousness, that is Kali. So when you say Bhairava as the Adhara, What it merely means is that you're invoking him and calling him within you to guard this temple. I am the temple. This is the only temple I can control. When I go nearby to a nearby temple, I'm not able to say that today, can you please offer these 5 flowers only? Today I feel like offering this Naivedya to Devi. Can you do it? How many of you have access to temples who will say, okay, done. Today, you Kaushik, you tell me what? Right? Today we'll do this only. Can you do that? Kaushik might be very powerful. So he might be able to take control of 5 temples. But I don't know any temple where I can direct that. Do you have any temples in your locality where you can dictate what should happen there? No. So Bhairava says there is one temple where you are the master, you are the chief priest, you are the temple committee, you are the flower lady who sells the flower outside, you are the auto driver who will bring the devotees also, you are everything. I give you that temple and I will be the Kshetrapala of that temple provided you also do not put yourself into a grid. And say that in your own asana, these are the 5 rules. If I do not follow these 5 rules, Devi will not come. This mindset has to break. And who was the avatar of the Bhairava path itself? It was Bama Khyapa. 200 years later, he becomes relevant. He's here right now on the stage. So I was speaking to somebody from my own guru's space yesterday. And I was telling him, I don't know, I'm also breaking my own procedures. I sit in a small garbhagriha, switch on the camera, switch off the camera and click on upload. This is all I know. So Devi did send me this huge army of 165 people who are all masters of editing, masters of posting, masters of everything. And I have no clue on what they do. I just sit there and say, yeah, Jai Ma. Because before we started the creative bench, just to tell you how much Devi will protect you, dangerously going out of this, I hope you will all bear with me. We had a conference, all of us, right? And we were discussing, so somebody asked me, Guruji, will you go to podcast? When are you going? This was about almost a year, not a year back, 8 months back, right? 8 months back. And I told them, see, podcast, I don't want Kali to be known as she also came from a podcast. That I will not accept. Yes, podcasts are excellent. They gave all of you path. Many of you who were slightly lost, Bhairava slapped you and said, look at me, right? But I had one specific urge that Ma should not be. Not because I feel podcasts are bad or anything, that is also her own creation, but it should not be that she came from one place and took. No, she should. What is Adya Kali? Har ghar. Ghar ghar Kali, har ghar Kali, right? Every house, every photo that you have is actually her projecting in one shape of a deity. It is actually Adya. It is the Adi Shakti, projecting with the Shakti that is Shiva. Right? So I had this thought that I told him, I don't think we will be able to do a podcast based thing, because I'm not someone, I'm even right now, this is very new to me. Most of the time imagining that none of you exist, right? I am someone who speaks very comfortably sitting in the garbhagriha in the very hot sun. I'm not used to AC also, right? It's been like 1.5 years, I think, that I've been speaking. So I told them, I can't do that. And that day I went to the garbhagriha and said, I don't know what to do. I have no clue. I definitely am terrible at networking, terrible at having, because Kali has that nature, dangerously going there. She's doing this. She has that nature. She says, these are your 10 talents. And for example, you have the ability to make a friend, right? How many of you have a lot of friends in your life? You have. Oh, you're still here. She has the ability to take that ability to have a friend and divert it towards you. That is the nature of Kali, right? Once you go to her, she says, oh, wow, you have this ability to make a new friend, give it to me. I will bring 10 people to you. They will come by themselves. But you give that ability to me. In society, you will be called a weirdo. He has no friends. My neighbor, an extremely enterprising man, he has all friends and relatives and all that. He will always complain. I probably tell that I never see this man outside his 4 walls. Because that is my inability to put that effort also into building relationships. So I was very sad when people ask, how do you plan to scale up when you keep saying that you won't go to podcasts and all this? So I went to Devi that day and said, Ma, I don't know what I'm doing. Find a way out. You're sending some people to me. Somebody is telling me that we will put reels because I make 1 hour of rambling videos. Many people today, you get only 30 seconds. YouTube gets 30 seconds. YouTube judges you based on the first 30 seconds. In the first 30 seconds, YouTube will send a report saying that your video failed, man. It didn't work. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can speak for an hour on you, but I don't know what to do. I cannot do this on a podcast. If somebody interrupts me 5 times, I don't know what to do. If somebody says that talk about this specific point only, I don't know what to do. I don't know how that works. You will not believe. The next day, this idea of making reels came up. It was Kaushik. I believe that he texted me and said that let's do this. Why don't we make shorts? And then we started making shorts. And then we made an announcement, anybody who wants to make the boring shots of my extremely raw videos, please come. And people turned up. And all of a sudden there was this huge army who would, out of their own interest, started click whatever. See, how it works is what I've noticed is that if there is somebody in front of you having one X problem, A, B, C, D, he represents lakhs. And whatever it is that you found useful in your life from my one video, you make a shot and put, that's up to you. We don't disturb you. Up to you. And they did it. And this started amassing huge visibility on Instagram. And each of our smallest profile also was able to touch 50,000 to 1 lakh. And the largest ones were doing 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs view. And overall we are at crores now. So if you take the entire Instagram of the creative bench of Adya Kali, Kaliputra mission, we are at crores. And I was surprised. And I am someone who cannot even crop a video. I did tell my wife at one point, can you watch my video and tell me which part made sense to you so that I can check on how to crop it and post it. This was our actual situation. So Ma said, this foolish fellow, you do what you can do. I will do what I can do. Right? And she sent this entire creative bench and all that, and we are able to touch so many people today. And I am not in any podcast. I did try to go. We've gone somewhere now. I did try to go to a podcast, and it is a pretty famous person. And I fought with Ma and said that my guru's name I will establish in this podcast. Let him at least be known at this huge, it will be like a grand entry for him on the space. I reached. I forgot to say that the podcast host also has to reach. He got stuck in Dubai. Every day they will contact me. Does not look like he can come. So the first time they gave me a date, I told him immediately, see, I have given you a date. Fix that date, because you can never fix Kali. You can never fix Kali. She will dance off and move off. You try to fix Kali, and this is the specific, this is also Adya. That is why I talk about Adya. You cannot even fix her on a date. I said, let's do on 23rd. They said, no, we've looked at the schedule. As per schedule, we'll have to do it on 28th. I said immediately, you cannot fix Kali. They also laughed, ha ha ha. Then I said, okay. They didn't understand. You cannot fix Kali. You try to fix her into a grid. Kiska grid? Whose timeline? Whose calendar? Whose phone? What calendar are you looking at? You cannot fix Kali. You tell her that this is the path, Ma. If I come in this path, you have to come and sit with me. She'll play and dance with you. That day alone, you will not be able to go. Sometimes I say, okay, in Tarapith, Bama Khyapa, they do intense Sadhana of Bama Khyapa itself, right? An extremely difficult path. Something that I do not suggest to people at all, because like in my own guru's names, he would always tell me, why don't you go and have a great life? She has come to you, that I know. You have her with you all the time. Why do you want to always burn? Go enjoy your life, teach people and all that, but don't go near Bama Khyapa. He is the strictest. Sometimes my guru says, he will come in the middle of the night, sit him proper, make a cup of tea. He will drink a cup of tea with my guru. And sometimes in the middle of that, he'll wake him up and beat the heck out of him and disappear. The most difficult guru, even today, even though he's not in a physical form, Bama Khyapa is the most difficult guru. So one young chap had sent me a message. He asked me, I want to do the sadhana of Bama Khyapa. I said, all the best. You will attain closeness with Maa Kali by being what you are. But if you say that this is the grid, Bama Khyapa broke the grid. But if that broken grid is your grid, get ready to be broken. And it will be brutal. Let me tell you. So, what was the subject? Introduction to Bhairava. Have we introduced? So, Kshetrapala of, what is the Kshetra? You. Bhairava sadhana is about making Bhairava the Kshetrapala of you and protecting you within Brahma's design, aligning you to Shiva. The fastest way to align you to Shiva. What is Shiva? Shunya, Mahashunya, the great zero, state of zero, center of the universe. Align to that within Brahma's design. As you sit in a matrimonial profile, right, to have the guts to say that I will wait. My girl will come, my guy will come, society will put pressure on me, but I know it will happen. He will bring it. He has that ability, and his ingrained nature of this deity is so Vairagi. So let us go to his Vahana now. What is his Vahana? What dog? Black dog. Every dog, if you burn the dead body, the smoke is black. Right? Don't align. Nothing wrong in what you have said. Absolutely fine. Because black dog is also his, white dog is also his. Right? Bama Khypa's dogs were black. My dogs are white. Bama Khypa, it's not easy to invoke in a house. Left and right he'll give. Extremely difficult. Like there is, again, Kaushik, please bring me back to the subject. Right? I am just going to go a little bit into Bama Khypa. So in Tarapith, when some of the sadhakas had asked him for help in a small sadhana vidhi and all that, and they made him sit, offered him the well-cooked meat, fish and all, they offered to him. He said that these are all useless. And he went to the smashan and brought the remains of a recently burned body and said, "This side, come, let's eat this." Can you bring him home? You can. But do you think that you have that ability, digestive capacity to digest Bama Khypa as your direct guru? He is at that state, and it is like directly bringing Bhairava at home and sitting in front of Bhairava and telling me, "Teach me." Next day you can't go to office. So do it slowly. With Adya, the mother, she will feed you her divine breast milk, take care of you. But if you try to be over adventurous, don't be adventurous. This is my biggest message to you all. Don't try to be adventurous. Your daily routine, align it around Devi with Bhairava as the Adhara. That is all it is. So what was the subject again? Dogs. What is Bhairava's Vahana? Dog. Why? Why is the dog Bhairava's Vahana? Sorry? Dogs everywhere is excellent. I think simplicity, okay? Loyalty. Doesn't care for what? Doesn't care about, dogs care a lot about us, no? So you're saying that they are brutally up to their grid, they don't pretend to be something else. Right. What else? Unconditional love. Physical? Physical Kshetrapala to us. Okay. Very nice. So you have all described the nature of a dog very well. Bhairava took it to a different level in terms of his Vairagya Tattva. People have tried to, great saints have tried to make sense of why Bhairava would use a dog as the Vahana. Right? They have described that his tail is, the tail of Bhairava's dog is the entire Jyotishastra. The throat of Bhairava's dog is Kala Jnana. Jnana of the entire, it is like the black hole. So the Siddha Purushas have tried their best to make sense of why Bhairava went and took a dog. You know, in the general dharmic path, even in a Yagyasthala, the dogs are not allowed. Dogs are to be kept outside. Right? The highest, sometimes when I see some of the local channels in my own state, there are some gurus and all who come on that space and say that dog and all, you should, if you keep the dog in your house is gone, they say. If you bring the dog, allow the dog even to be near your house, you should be outside only. Bhairava is also kept outside only. So this is the state of Ajnana among the leaders. So they have not to worry, they will have a life. Where they are completely sitting in an IT company, fully busy, then they'll see something like, oh, what is this? Bhairava. Okay, looks easy. That's per those parts I should have put 10-15 years into learning Vedas and all. Here they say only Bhairava, right? So they will come. Now we are already here, they'll come next life. Let them come. But the dog was chosen because that which is absolutely the lowest being rejected by Indradeva, kicked out. Right? When Sarama is said to be the mother of all dogs, she consumes the milk of the divine cow. He kicks on her stomach and all. There is this, go and read on Google, kicks on her stomach, makes her vomit that blood and kicks her out of the Devaloka. The dog is considered the lowest being among the entire beings. Even the worms say be lower. Dogs, they are at that state. So Bhairava says, that which you consider the lowest and absolutely nothing to do with divinity becomes my identity. At that moment itself, he collapses the entire ideology of the Devaloka, because beyond them, they cannot visualize beyond Mahesh. Beyond them, an avatar has come out which says that dog is my identity. Forget choosing the most exceptional animal, Gaja, dog. In the dog, everything that the Devaloka is there. Put in that. That becomes the identity of Bhairava. So, what does that tell you about the deity that you're trying to go close to? Should you try and pretend in front of him because you have, society says there are some bad habits that you have, there are some irresponsible desires within you. Should you pretend in front of this deity? This is that one deity who has come to protect you. And this is that one deity who says that that the society says this A, B, C, D grid tere life mein nahi hua. You couldn't clear this interview, right? You didn't get in Microsoft, right? That rejection of Microsoft is also me. It happened in my consciousness. He accepts you in totality. This is why he chose a studio. Are kya hai? Sab kya bol rahe hain? Studio, there is a studio. Okay, this is nice. Let me come from here. Everything about Bhairava is procedural collapse. And the only niyama is that you sit in your Garbhagriha and stop pretending. Stop saying that the cow is the greatest. I have cow and dog. So I feed cow and then I feed dog. Here it will be full of green and corn silage. My cows will be like respecting, Wah, aa gaya. He's come to feed us corn silage. Come, take my blessing. She blesses me, my cow. Next second, all meat and everything to my dogs. Same hand. Right? Every day this happens in my house. And then I think, what am I doing? This is his Vahana that eats this. This is the Devaloka's representation, the Gaumata, and I'm feeding both the hands. Right? So what does that mean? This is what came first. The dogs. The dogs opened my path to keep cows very comfortably in the city. How many of you can keep a cow today, right now? No farm. Farm mein hai. Nahin. Ghar pe. No. He will align your life to such an extent, to such a space where you will be in Kailasa in your house. Because who is he? He's Shiva. It is Shiva. It is not some guardian of temples and all that. It is Shiva who says that outside the temple, I am already here. It is you who is questing inside the temple, but outside the temple, I am here. How many of you pray to the Kshetrapala before you go inside the temple? You should not lie. Kshetrapala, not the Dwarapala. Kshetrapala. Outer wall there will be, you do it, huh? That is very rare. Outside the wall there will be a idol of a Kshetrapala. How many of you pray to them? He says, even if everybody kicks you out, throws you out from here, outside I sit, main hu yahan pe. It is me. That is Bhairava. So should you pretend to be anything else in front of him? No. Well, there is a catch. There is a great catch in this. When Adya Kali says that you will only worship me in your house, there is a great catch now. You will not try to convince others to accept you. If you are Duryodhana, be Duryodhana in your house. Be Duryodhana within yourself. Don't go to Arjuna's house. Excuse me, I am also the son of Devi. I am also the son of Maa Gandhari, which is the name of Kali. Right? You are the son of Maa Kunti, which is the name of Kali. So why you won't be like me? Be like me. This is what is going wrong in the society today, that you are expecting the other person to accept you. You accept, be at peace in your asana offer to Devi. Don't expect the other paths to accept you. Just like you should reject all spiritual paths that reject you as a human, you shouldn't expect them to accept it. They are in that path, they are in that timeline, they will come when it is time. If they don't have to come directly, if they are having that state. Why did Shri Ramakrishna rush to the church? Why? He attained the siddhi of Lord Jesus. Why? Why do you think? Sorry? Yes. It's not about Jesus is Kali or not. It is that he wanted to tick mark and make sure that then you don't tell me that in this path there was something that you didn't learn in Prakriti. I will learn it now. He ran. So you don't have to go to the church, but you should at least understand that I am at a place of shunyata when I look at them. I do not judge them. Hate is the most dangerous thing in the path of Bhairava, right? Do not hate anything. Grina is the name of Kali. Grina is hate. Everything you hate will open a portal to your next birth, and you will have to be born as that so that you realize and understand and attain shunyata with why he was that. Does it make sense? Or it's gone too much? Gone too much. Somebody said gone too much in the crowd. Somebody just slipped that. Let us put some truth inside this man also. It has gone too much now. You don't have to go to the church for attaining shunyata, but you should understand why is it that your neighbor who's called, say, Vincent, right? One of the people who actually, I would call a mentor in my Rajapalayam project. His name is Vincent, right? And he's a pastor in a church. He preaches on Jesus, very, very, very devout. And I would openly say that he's my mentor. There was another Muslim man who gave me some exceptional insights into Kashmir Shaivism. You will not believe the depth he had. And Devi put me, my career was a time pass only for her. She put me in a specific place where I was right next to this Muslim man, and he had origins from that space, and he would have so much in-depth details on the idols of Bhairava, more than what you will find on social media. And he was able to connect it so beautifully to Buddha. At that moment, can I say that he was not a mentor? He was not an embodiment of Devi at that moment teaching me this. So, you don't have to go and hug everybody and distribute sweets and all, but understand that every creation of Devi, the faster you understand this, you cut off your future lifetimes. You operate with hate towards any path, that opens a portal to your next birth. Learn it and come. Why does one religion place women here? Why does the other religion place women here? Understand. At the heights, now what do we say? Every woman is Devi, an embodiment of Devi. We have come to this state. But there are other paths that do not say this, right? So don't hate them. Understand why they are at that state and how they'll also come to these states. It is all a progression of thought, a progression of the path. Anything you hate extends your lifespan in this specific realm. The faster you come to the state of shunyata, remove grina. Grina is her. It is a portal. It is Kali operating and giving you the next birth. So Shri Ramakrishna, he went to church. He went to the masudis. And he made sure that he's attained shunyata because he's tick mark. He's putting tick mark. So that there is nothing that I have not experienced, no spiritual path that you can say that I have not experienced. As a Brahmin, he would walk into the restrooms of the workers and he would clean the toilets with his long matted hair. You have read this? Why? It is to also experience what that creation is. This is the state of Kali. It is beyond the grids. It is beyond the return path. Depth. Absolute depth. If you can put 10 minutes into learning coding, that 10 minutes, give it to me, I'll make sure your bank account is full. Yeah, you come. Never equate Kali with the, so I'm digressing a lot. Am I going too out of path? Who said yes? How do you attain shunyata? Bhairava will do that for you. In every specific grid, career, goals of your family life, goals of what property I should have. In everything you are walking with that skull in your hand. And he will tell you when to drop it. And where the skull fell, what happened to that space? It did not become Kashi per se. Because Kashi is the name of, 208th name of Kali is Kashi. So, wherever the skull drops in your life, in the career you have attained a state where now it does not seem to make a lot of sense. I am getting it, but ab to maza nahi hai isme. That state will come automatically. You do not pretend to, you don't, by through the skull, what is, I don't like this, I have to prepare a PPT, throw this. No, hold it till the detachment comes by itself, till moksha comes by itself, till the skull doesn't fall by itself. Don't pretend that you're over it and try to drop the skull. It will not fall. Bhairava couldn't drop it. It fell when she decided that you're at Shunya. And what is her name? Shunya Nivasini. There are two ways to look at Bhairava sadhana. One towards Bhairava, which is a slow path actually. Very sorry to say this. Towards Bhairava itself, you're again moving into the four heads. Within the four heads of Brahma, there is Bhairava. There is Bhairava worship, everything is there. But align it to Kali. You say that I want Bhairava to come as a Kshetrapala to protect this Kshetra and align it to Kali. That is when you will find that it happens like this. And the speed is so high that you will not recognize who you are this month and what you were last month. It is something that she has put this entire script into my life stories where I can teach. All of this that I'm speaking about, it is not from a book. It is my real life story. How I look back at what I was last month, I do not recognize that man anymore. Arey, ye kya kar raha hai? And this month, I'm absolutely somebody else. I'm sitting on the stage, right? The urge to walk out of that Garbhagriha started slowly. And then I thought that, okay, probably she wants a change of scene. I sat in the meditation room and I started putting videos. No, it was this. She put me on the stage. Now we are going berserk now. Now we are all over, we are planning to go everywhere, to every city and touch base with all the Kali mad sadhakas and I tell them that Kshetrapala ko bula lo. Unplug from the matrix. Let him govern. So that when the skull falls in every facet in your life by itself, you have attained Shunyata and you're putting a tick mark. He'll do it very fast because he was given the state of the administrator of Kashi by Kali. And what is the fifth head that mouths off? Yoga Maya mouths off. What is Yoga Maya? It's Kali. When she mouths off, she did it on purpose because in Brahma's design, I do not want to be the fifth head here because what will he do? From Milky Way, he will make coffee way as per this design only. This is not the truth. So giving higher states of realization to Brahma itself. So in your life, in your relationships, in your careers, in your path of whatever it is that you have chosen, the skull will fall by itself. Until then, it is sadhana. Your career is sadhana. Your relationships are sadhana. You do not get to reject anything. Your pains and your failures are also sadhana. It is not that when I sit in that space and start polishing my mala. What is polishing of the mala? Mala these days. But I get attacked all the time on social media and all that. Because if you check there, mantra counts and mine, though I'll be baby only. But there's something I aligned that my whole life, every minute is sadhana to Kali because the body is the yantra. Body has become a kshetra governed by Bhairava. I do not pretend to say that only when I sit at the asana and start the japa, now I am in sadhana. No, the whole day is offered to Kali. And that is why Adya Kali said, whatever you are, however you are, offer it to me and let your life revolve around me and I will make that house a temple. That is why I talk about 10,000 Kali temples, not one grand temple. So that in your house when you place Kali, it should be a temple of Kali and for no minute will you consider or keep yourself lower than the priest of the biggest and most famous Kali temple because let me tell you, Kshetrapala bad gaya, what will happen? Finished. You are on par with the most powerful Kali temple and it is only Kali who will do this because for her though, like what is the heights of imagination that you can go? Okay, this is nice. She'll come. She has that because who is Kali? Krishna. Chaliya. The one who said, every path I can break down and tell you that there is another way out. So your daily life has to revolve around Kali and for that you need Bhairava. Otherwise, multiple times your path will crumble. Multiple times you will notice that you're falling back into the grid. You will not have the Vairagya to hold on to this path without Bhairava. You will not be able to do it because even Brahma tried, started mouthing off, started moving away from the core tattva, that is the half of Kali, Shiva, started thinking that Brahma's design of that 10th promotion, Brahma's design of the 10th house, Brahma's design of being better than what my relative was. That is not Shiva. Brahma said, this is Shiva, I am Shiva only now. Whatever I am doing right now, I am Shiva only. To align that, Bhairava had to come. So that is why you need Bhairava sadhana and Bhairava sadhana goes hand in hand with Kali sadhana. And the faster for you to rise in Bhairava sadhana is if you align with Kali. I have given out the sadhana vidhis of Swarnakarshan Bhairava. Why Swarnakarshan Bhairava? There is proof. Science, the slow child of Kali. We call science the slow child because science is getting there eventually. They took 20 years to find Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. Now they have sent machines to the space to find who? Center of the universe. Right? All the best. That is not happening. This quest that you are sending the machine to find, no? That will land you in India in your next birth. And you will find Mahakal, but sitting in your asana. You will not be able to find him by sending machines to space because it's the center of the universe and nobody knows where it is. We know. Where is the center of the universe? Here. He is here. But now we are misaligned. Allow the Kshetrapala to come. He's now stood up from many of the temples. He's walked out and saying that no, yahan pe to fifth head. It's time for fifth head. Inside the committees are not right. Inside the procedures are not right. Many temples are still excellent, but there are some where he has walked out. Call him. You don't have that posting now. Please come. I am calling you to my temple, which is my simple home, but there is bhakti. He will come and administer you. So Swarnakarshan Bhairava allows you to tick mark every single desire within you. It could be a promotion, it could be that buildings, it could be commercial spaces. Anybody who's doing Swarnakarshan Bhairava sadhana with sincerity and it aligns, Swarna aligns with the dog. I've given the dog feeding as a very integral part of Bhairava sadhana because when the dog looks at you with utmost reverence, at that moment, he will stand there for you. The dog must, the most niche creature that nobody is looking at. Everybody talks about how to kill the dog, how to throw it out, how to remove them from the street and all that. That moment, the more the state of the dog goes down in the society, that is when you understand that the more it is time to call Bhairava within you. That is an indicator. The more it falls, the state of the dog. So let me tell you, in my own life, I spent 3-4 years just madly roaming all over the country with my dogs. Right? Just imagine what kind of name I would have had. This man, to be honest to my neighbors, in-laws, they would think he's always about the dogs. That guy is a mad guy. What on all he can do? He can do a lot of things. He should be focusing on some business and all that. He's running after the dog all over the country. Madman. That madness, I've never described this in any of my videos, but that madness led me to one day sit in a rented house room without any lights, nothing. There is a parrot. I have a parrot. This side, I have a dog. This side. They are both in that room. And I had a vision, an exceptional vision. I felt that somebody was going to tear off my skin. It was that bright, right in front of me. That, not bright. I'm sorry to use the word bright. It was something there right in front of me. I knew it was him. I had that vision. And you know what I did? I put my hand in front. Simply, my skin is about to tear off. My parrot is screeching off. Parrot is very calm. My parrot likes to sit and watch my sadhana all the time. Don't know from which lifetime she has come. And some guru who probably did not give me Diksha sits right now as a parrot next to my sadhana space. She's screeching away, fluttering. And I can hear that and just like almost about to extinguish that small lamp I've kept. That time, Kali was always there, but Bhairava sadhana became intense for me because I was aligning this path for the dog, which is causing me to lose my name, to focus more on Bhairava, on the dog than my job itself. There came a state where there was a dog championship show and I would tell my boss, no, I will not be there. I have this. I said, you are talking about going to a dog show when we are having such an important meeting? It came to that moment. I said, no, I have to go. So these sort of moments had come to a peak. And when I sat on that specific day, getting a vision right in front of me, I just put my hand and said, Kali. I didn't ask for anything else. Put my hand out and said, Kali, give me Kali. And from that day, I've never been a Bhairava sadhaka and I've been a Kali sadhaka. So invoke Bhairava with the mindset that you want Kali. You know how like the clock goes tick-tock? What is tick-tock? Tick is the end of that specific moment and she rises the next moment. So the actual iconography of Kali on Bhairava is the end of every nimisha in your life and she rises into the next nimisha as Kali. So the rightful ending of every moment, every second, break every second, she will do it. You don't have to sit in the driver's seat and do that. Every second ends right and rises right. This is the entire path. That is what we call Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Through Bhairava, you attain Kali. And once you attain Shunyata in everything in your life, there is nothing that can stop you. Anything you set your eyes on, it is like Kali setting your eyes on that. You say that by the grid it is podcast. I say no, by the grassroots. She will say, okay, let's do it. Once she has come in, she will show you every path that will not make sense to anybody, but you will achieve it. Everything is a tick mark. So go to Bhairava with the intention of ultimately going to Devi, because that is what his purpose was. He walked with that skull, which ultimately became Kashi. And what is Kashi? It is Kali. It is the name of Kali. Every Shiva's ling placed in any temple, Linga Rupani, Linga Sthita, it is Kali projecting Shiva into that ling. Nobody has seen Shiva, nobody. But it is she who has seen Shiva's Shunyata. She stands on Shiva's Shunyata. Right? So Swarnakarshan Bhairava, for anybody who is generally starting off your career, it is the most apt form. Wealth could mean things that you did not even know that your blood is desiring for. Wealth could mean just being famous in your street. It could be an ancestor who was not respected in the street, seen as a failure in the street. That could be considered wealth in your family. You have to tick it off. You get a little bit of fame. As an example, you will rise. Because that ancestor is now able to power you with kripa until you give them peace, until you give Pitru Shanti, not by rituals, but by attaining it. This is Bhairava Sadhana, and he allows you to do that faster. When do you get into Kala Bhairava Sadhana? It is when you attain a state where absolute peace, everything attained. Now you can sit down. That is when you move to Kala Bhairava Sadhana. That is a great mistake that young men generally make, because he has that iconography today. It's gone too much. Yes, he has that iconography that makes him cool. Right? Wow, he looks awesome. So we go to him, but he has sat down. It is from Batuka till Kala Bhairava that the entire universe of Bhairava is within these two. You don't have to go into specific forms. Many people ask me on WhatsApp and all, give me the sadhana of Krodha Bhairava and all that. See, you don't have to get into the sadhana of individual forms. Start with Batuka Swarnakarshan Bhairava, which is the most important state, and that is why you are all in these blazers, modern dressings, and all that for what? You come out of that monk imagery, but you're all meant to be monks. You're monks that are come for specific desires, completion, so that you can get realigned to the path. So Swarnakarshan Bhairava aligns you faster with that which you might not even know that you desire. That moment when the skull falls in everything, that is when Kala Bhairava, the state of Kala Bhairava begins. So Vatuka is the son of Maa Kali, and Kala Bhairava becomes the consort of the Mahavidya Kali. And for the Mahavidya Kali, it is Shanishwara who is the planet. So it will be a slow burn, but in the path of Kali, slow is maybe just 2 or 3 years. You will go through a phase where your entire family, relatives, job, everything will feel like nothing, and you just sit in your asana. Your life will revolve around the asana. Get ready for that state. It will naturally come. Don't pretend. This is a big issue I'm finding with everybody who texts me. They're trying to pretend and sit there. No, let it come naturally. Till there is the urge to, today evening at 7 o'clock, my friends are going to this pub, or they are going to this cinema. Till that urge is there, don't purposely try to sit. Go. Tick mark everything. Do not pretend before you that you are not what you are. Right? The faster you come to the state, Bhairava Sadhana is the fastest, simplest path, because it is a worship of you. Because you are a Shiva Tattva. He is the only deity. You know, just recently I was visiting somebody. I'll just take 5 more minutes. I hope that is okay. Oh my God. Many have gone off, yeah. I have been of great disservice to you all. I think we should have the dance again. Sorry? You are stunned. Acha. That is good, yeah. Give me these feedbacks. No, see, I told you, right? I'm somebody who sits and speaks in the Garbhagriha. And only thing I'm used to is here. Right? So if you don't give me feedback, next time I will not come. Another half an hour, I don't have the capacity. Right? So where was I? Kala Bhairava, let the skull fall by itself. Vatuka Bhairava is not a lower form. It is the form full of prana. absolute prana of the entire Devaloka coming to teach who? Brahma. Not an inferior form, the most exceptional form. And something if you can hold on till 75 years of age, now Vatuka Bhairava Sadhana, hold it. Don't hurry to sit down. It will happen naturally. But whatever Bhairava Sadhana you do, never let go of one specific being. Who is that? She's the one. She gives purpose to Bhairava by saying that, see, Brahma itself is having the fifth head. How beautifully is mouthing. Challenge. She has a nature challenging Shiva. See, Brahma is also Shiva now. This is not what I am. He comes out, holds the head, teaches us the path. 12 cosmic years I walk as a bhikshu, begging everywhere. And then when the skull falls, Kashi. This is there in every facet of your career, every facet of your relationship. There are some men who are not meant to be your boyfriends. I have my inbox full of women asking me, I love this man. But nothing is right. Neither my family accepts, neither the horoscope accepts. They ask me, is there some parihara with which we can? The strength, he knows. He knows why there is a relationship failing. He knows everything. There is a reason why he's just come to hold you. Allow him to hold you. Allow him to take you through that breakup. It will be fine. Don't break to that extent. Right? So after this subject has opened up, I'm finding more energy. Okay, so how to handle breakups? And how do you... Yes, good morning. And we're back on yet another video. So what else here? I think I'm done. Yeah, so beyond 33 years of age, generally somebody who's starting off at 20, 22, 99% of the people in my inbox, I am Bhairava, will be 17 or 16 years old. So I have to say, illegal. Don't text me. How can you do this? You call yourself Bhairava Sadhaka. You will not guide me just because I am 16, block. Then they come back from another number and they say that you have blocked that number. They come back in Telegram. And they say that you have blocked that number there. I understood my mistake. Please unbox. And after that, they are fine. So, calm down. Kahan bhag rahe ho, yaar? It is all, entire timeline is him. Subs track hai. All the tracks he has already fit. There is no race in sadhana. Very cool. Switch on your asana, switch on all the lights, relax and enjoy that path. I enjoy my sadhana like crazy. I miss her already. I absolutely miss her. The moment that car, Karthik ji was driving, it landed, I saw her here. Wow, I'm at home. That is when I felt good. Until then, I have been missing her madly. So just get aligned to her. She will put everything right. The man who cannot even edit a video is being scolded by other famous influencers, spiritual influencers, that he kitna fame hungry hai yaar. I'm saying, Arey yaar, actually I didn't do anything. I just told her, I don't know how to promote your name. And she is the one who did it. You go and scold her. Why are you scolding me? So, trust. Every bit of effort you put towards her, she will just get things rolling so easily. And only one thing I'll tell you. As a mission, something that my guru, he has a board in his place. Do not pay a single penny here. He has that board. Have you seen that anywhere in any spiritual organizations? Not that money is wrong and all that. Money is fine, but he has that board there. So, carrying that forward, our mission, because my guru hates the name mission, actually. The moment you go in front of him and say organized mission and all that, he will search. Where is the stone? That is why I have not visited him in the last, because I have to set things straight, because beyond him, within him there is a compartment which has to be open, and I have graciously taken that path and I have told him that, yeah, a mission also can be done right. I will show you that. You bless me. So, a mission is not meant, you do not, among the Vidyas, Kali is here and Maa Kamala is here. You do not equate this and say, I will sell you for this. You understand? Many of you will become gurus in future. You might not wear the robes and all that. You might be very coolly walking around in a blazer and all that, in heading big companies, in box type teams meetings, scolding people and all that. But you will find that the more you go higher, naturally seekers will come towards you, because vacuum. There is a vacuum inside that seeker. That seeker will very casually come and stand in front of you. Whole life, whole career, I've found myself advising people in small cabins like this. They'll walk it up to me and I will just advise them. This will happen to you. When this happens, please understand that the deity is testing you. Right? So, Vidya of Kali should never be sold. And that is why, as a mission, we've taken it upon ourselves to have satsangs where earlier, how do you think, like 300, 400 years back, how would these satsangs happen? Like somebody like me will simply walk and sit under a tree and start, So I was just talking about Kali, 10 people will come and sit. That is how it would happen. In this organized structure, we are trying to do that with these sort of setups. However, we operate on, nobody will know the answer because I'm going to give you that. Bhiksha. This mission runs on Bhiksha. We have the concept that neither mantras nor upadeshas should be sold. So that is why we don't have a ticket structure, and we are going to be very aggressive, going all over the country. Everywhere we will not be able to take a hall and all that. So we are floating forms. I don't even know how to make a Google form, just to tell you that. Absolutely no idea. Unable to even have basic conversations with people. Sometimes I get switched off. But if you talk about Kali, I can take any subject to Kali. Right now I'm doing it, right? So, we graciously accept any bhiksha in the form of donations so that we can keep this going. But it is not compulsory. It should be out of your own quest and that urge that this sort of a culture should happen. Right? Coincidentally, there are satsangs happening for huge amounts of money, which I cannot do because Kali cannot be equated to money. She will just dance and play off and run off, and then I have to spend few more lifetimes as a very rich man. Khatam, khaya, lot of money in your bank account. Are you happy now? I will not come to you. There are great actors and businessmen who were Kali sadhakas, floating in money, but there will be no Kali. Sometimes she is the cruelest mother that way. So we do not equate Vidya with money. We graciously accept any bhiksha that you would like to contribute for these sort of satsangs so that we can keep it going. But you are not buying Kali. And I am not selling Kali. Please remember this. And with that, I think we can have the Q&A session continuously. They want a break. I'm already broken.
Guruji, please, let's take a break of 10 minutes. Those who need to use the restrooms and those who want to drink water, the arrangements have been made.
We have made
just outside the hall.
We have taken photographs, so anybody who runs out will be able to come after you. Right? If any of you is missing when the Q&A starts, we will come after you. Just like Bhairava is one of the biggest, I forgot this point. I was visiting somebody recently. Can I take 30 seconds? Yes. So this is a nature. I don't go to this so-called. I don't know any politician. I don't know any big bureaucrats. None of them I know, right? But she will continuously throw me in front of them, continuously. So one such thing out of nowhere, my not apartments, our huge layout. They put that president post on my head. So because of that, I had to go and meet them. So he told me a story that in that entire small town, there is absolutely no theft happening in any house and all that. Because when the government gives order to remove dogs and all, this man will not do that. He will not remove the stray dogs. So there is no theft happening, right? This simple incident shows you how Bhairava protects you within the designs of Brahma, right? Like a dog, this is one deity who will never, you can hurt your dog. How many of you have dogs? Wow, so many of you, excellent. So I don't have to teach you anything. You already know. You shout at the dog, scold them. Next second, Areva, come to me. That next second, the dog will absolutely forgive you, right? Why? Because the dog has seen you at your worst, seen you at your best. Usko pata hai, ultimately to ye Atma hai. This Atma is something I love. And the dog will come back to you. This nature is there in this deity that is Bhairava. And no matter what, you don't have to think that have I displeased Bhairava? Will he not come back again? have I messed up? You can never mess up with Bhairava because it is there in the Vahana. He has given that message that even if you throw a stone at your own dog, don't do that. But even if you throw a stone, that dog he'll be there. Back at your bedside, back at your table side, and right next to your leg, that dog will come and sit down. This nature is not there in any other animal. If I was to hit my bull, he loves me because of that, he may not kill me, but he will not come to me. And bull is the Vahana of one's other forms, right? But Bhairava, dog. What does the Vahana itself give you a hint of? If I hit my bull, he will not come back to me again. It will take a lot of time. Sometimes I have been angry and hey, move, I do all that. He will not come to me for the next 5 days. Bahat natak. Side eye he will look. And then suddenly he will do this. Purposely to scare me a little. So that path is very clearly proven here. My bull is like that. Cow is also like that. Right? But my dogs. Kuch bhi kar lo. World's worst father. World's worst husband. Joe, whatever is the title you have. Dog accepts you. So that is the beauty of Bhairava, path itself. So don't be in a continuous state of, I've done this, he forgives. And he will also realign you to your purpose. Right? So I think we'll break now. Please don't run away.